let everybody know who I am and what's my title, and get the thing there up. What?
You 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 what?
I didn't even say anything. I was minding my own business.
You what?
You what?
You what?
You what?
You what?
You can't just say what out of nowhere. So you what?
You what?
You what?
You
You
what?
what?
You what?
You what?
You what? You what? I win.
What you win?
I win.
You win what?
I just win.
That doesn't even make sense.
I just win.
There's nothing to win.
But I just win. I want the phone.
Okay, here you go.
Yay. I got the phone.
All right. All right. Now let's get going here. Good afternoon. Welcome to the afternoon experiment. My name is Emanuel Livingston. I am with you until till I get tired of coughing. This coughing it's not bad, but it's not getting better. It's not bad, but it's not getting better. I blame somebody. But yes, welcome to the show. If this is your first time joining, good to see you. The way we do it is you come in, you say good afternoon or hello or what's up or salutations or, whatever, throw up deuces, whatever. And, I speak back to you and then we get into the show. So let me do that. Let me speak to the people who are polite enough to say hello to me. I want to be polite enough to say hello back. Robert Willis. What's up? Good afternoon. Crystal, good afternoon. Kenneth. I don't know who this Paw person is. I am grandfather. I'm not no Paw. We cut that out a long time ago. Anthony, good afternoon. David, good afternoon to you as well. Sean, hey, what's good, Sean? From Atlanta. See, Sean did it right. You say good afternoon from, wherever. Kenneth, great day, great people. KL, I'm not sure who KL is, but good afternoon. Erica, good afternoon. Come on, scroll. What happened? Here we go. Sabrina, good afternoon from beautiful North College Hill. Brent, good afternoon. Brent checking in from Dallas, Texas. We got Terry in the house. All right. Got Tria here. What's up, Tria? From Columbia Township. Got Lonzo in the house. What's up, Lonzo? We got McConnell in the house. What's up? Crystal. You are speaking to me? That's all right. Good afternoon. Dwayne, good afternoon. He checking in from Mount Airy. So Mount Airy in the house. We got Phyllis in the house. Keisha from North College Hill. Hello. Corey. Good afternoon, Corey. And Diane's here as well. Daryl checking us out. Good afternoon, Daryl. Anthony. I thought Anthony already. Oh, he's speaking to Phyllis. Right, ain't nothing wrong with that. What you doing? All right. Got Miss Pittsburgh in the house. Zakia here as well. Great comment. There was no commentary. She won an imaginary contest that I didn't even know I was competing in. That's not fair. There's no good commentary. Daryl says an 11-year-old girl being shot in the head in North College Hill is nothing beautiful about North College Hill. Well, just because one bad incident happens doesn't mean the whole community, there can't be any beauty in the community. Hold on, let me see. Nikki, she says, good afternoon, everyone. All right. Dante in the house. Good afternoon, Dante. Ben in the house. I'm not saying that other nonsense, Ben. And Crystal says, I already spoke to you. Okay. Maria, good afternoon. Lady K. Hey, we got Scott in the house. Hey. And somebody said hi to you, little baby. Let me see. And then we got some other stuff going on. Lewis. I don't know what's wrong with Lewis. He's a funny guy. All right. Well, I guess got to start off. Oh, excuse me. Yeah. I've had a long day. I guess we got to start off saying, Jerry Springer passed away. Again, for those that, I met Jerry Springer. I couldn't say I knew Jerry Springer. I met Jerry Springer a few times. We had a few small conversations. Nothing deep. We didn't get into it about politics. We just kind of, did a little back and forth here and there. I met him a few times at the station. And I'll say this, Jerry Springer, from all of my interactions with him, and I interacted with him when he was annoyed once. Like he was really annoyed about something. I'm not sure what he was annoyed about. But, he was furrowing his brow the whole night. And, when we spoke, I could tell he was still annoyed. But he was still very polite, very personable. He was a smart dude, like I said earlier today. He was a smart dude. He was a funny dude. He was a personable dude. He was always respectful. So I don't really have anything bad to say about Jerry Springer. Well, I mean, I guess I could talk about the whole prostitute and the bounce check thing. But, I think clearly he recovered from that. And, I mean, he was a good dude. So if any of Jerry Springer's family, close friends or anything, if they're watching this show, my condolences to you on the loss of your loved one. And, it's sad. All right. I guess that's really about it. I don't really have a whole lot of other stuff to say about Jerry Springer because we wasn't friends. I didn't know him like that. But he was a good dude. Let me see. There was something else I wanted to talk about. Yeah, just a couple quick observations. Has anybody else noticed the sheriff's helicopters flying really low lately? I've seen them like every day for the last, at least this week. Every day this week, I've seen them. And every time I see them, they are flying super low. And when I was picking up this little baby from school, they were flying over the school. It was one day. It was flying over the school in the general vicinity of the school. But everybody, was kind of coming out the building looking up because it was so low. I might be the only one who noticed that, but yeah, I did notice that. And I don't know what's going on. All right, just an observation. Lady K says the pink lady, I don't know what that means, that lied on Emmett Till died today as well. Well, look, I believe what she did was bad, evil even. I believe what she did was bad, even evil. But I don't, even on evil people, I try not to just wish bad. And I understand, though, if people are like, good, that B is dead or whatever. I understand people, you make a false claim, you get a young boy murdered, and then just get to go and, I don't have anything good to say about her. And I don't even know that there's anything that anyone could say about her that would be redeeming. I don't know that there's anything anyone could say about her that could be redeeming. So she's dead. I don't feel bad about it. And I don't express any condolences to any of her family members. But I'm not celebrating either. It's still a loss of life. Let me see. There was something else. So are they watching you? No, they're not watching me. They're just out and flying low. They're just out and flying low. Hold on. Let me see. I saw something. Britt says that check that Jerry Springer wrote to the Vine Street Betty type woman came back insufficient funds. Yeah. Apparently he wrote her a check. And when she tried to cash it, he didn't have the money in there. How much was he paying? Because he was the mayor at the time. He should have had a couple of, and this was like the 70s. He should have had, what was A going for in the 70s? You know what I'm saying? What was A going for in the 70s? You imagine what, like $50 maybe? $50 maybe for some high-end A? He didn't have enough money in the account to cover $50. But, I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is. My friend's mom got pulled over earlier for having her phone in her hand. They not playing out here, y'all. Just want everybody to be aware. She was in the White Oak area. They are playing. I keep seeing people driving distracted with their phone in their hand. Like not even trying to hide it. Now look, I'm a distract. Well, I'm not distracted because I'm exceptionally talented. So I can do it and not miss a beat. It's the people who can't do it and drive. They are the problem. And they're all over the place. And they don't even know that they're the problem. Yeah, it's like the Sixth Sense. I see distracted drivers. They're bad drivers. And they don't know that they're bad drivers. Yeah. So those people should be stopped, but they're not. They're not being stopped. They're all over the place. It's annoying. Scott says that's his niece that got shot in North College Hill. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Tria says, what's all the hearts for? I missed it too. Hold on. I'm sure it wasn't the mothership. I'm absolutely sure. Oh, wait a minute. LaDonna says it was the 80s. Still, in the 80s, how much was A? How much was people paying for, for A in the 80s? Because right now, I believe I've heard. I heard somebody talk about like $20 is the going rate. At least with the young people, that's what they say. Is it $20 or is it $40? One of those is the going rate. But they're not professional. So, yeah, okay, when you bump something up to the professional level, it's 2023. I imagine that if I rode down a street with some hookahs on it, then I could probably, I want $50. I have no idea what the going rate is on A. No idea. I feel like I would be taken. I mean, hey, I need some A. Like, how much money you got? How much is the A? Well, I can give you some A for $75. I'd be like, that's a bargain. $75, cool. Somebody else, be like, you paid $75 for some A? I'd be like, yeah, ain't that the going rate? I'm getting an A for $20. Like, what? So I could have got like 3 3/4 A for what I paid. I would be pretty mad. I would be mad about that. So yeah, I'm not the right person. So I don't know what the going rate is. Shahara says, do you be in White Oak area when you see this? I'll be all over the place. All over the place. And it's a statewide thing. So, no, I haven't seen them pull anybody over for that. I know some of y'all on here. Hello, Tanika and Sierra. I know some of y'all on here know how much A is going for. Samuel says, who told you that? Who told me what? Who told me what? Don't shop out here in Price Hill. I don't know what it, but the point was for you to write a check for it in apparently the 80s and that check to not clear. I know it's out there. How much was he paying for the A? How much was Jerry paying for the A in the 80s? And I guess the question is, was it good A? Like, was it top shelf A or was it like 1980s Newport A? You know what I'm saying? Like, Newport done came up since the 80s. I mean, it still ain't, you know what I'm saying, top shelf. But you don't want to pay top shelf price for Newport, 1980s Newport A. But I guess that's kind of like financing it. So there was some finance charges. If you ain't giving me cash, I got to trust that this check is going to clear. So it's kind of like I'm extending you a line of credit, interest and origination fees and, all of that kind of stuff. So maybe, I don't know. But I don't know. But Jerry Springer's gone. I think that was a long way to go for that. Hold on, let's see. There's a few other things. Tucker Carlson, he's come out. I think he's about to start probably a podcast of some sort, not short. He's going to start a podcast of some sort because he's talking about corporate media not allowing things to be said and so on and so forth. So, yeah, I feel like, people were celebrating. People were celebrating like it meant something that he was gone from Fox News. Like it was a win for truth or freedom or even a loss for him. There's a really good chance he can make more money doing a podcast, lying, and fear-mongering on some stream like this. Lying and fear-mongering than he was making at Fox. There's a good chance of it. So, yeah, he's come out. He said, but it's time for him to step outside the noise. That's the quote. It's time for him to step outside the noise. So, yeah, he not done. He's not going away. And again, even if he was, he's a multimillionaire. He's a multimillionaire. Like, people be feeling bad for these people when they feel bad, when they lose their jobs and all of that kind of stuff. Like, oh my goodness, what's he gonna do? Whatever. I don't know exactly what he was making, but he was making a lot of money. And he's been making a lot of money for a long time. He good. He good. Like when Matt Lauer got fired. Oh, Matt Lauer. Oh, what he gonna do? Matt Lauer sitting back like, I'm gonna chill in one of my mansions until I feel like going to a different mansion. And then I'll go to that mansion and I might sell a mansion and then buy another mansion. Well, he ain't got no money coming in. He rich. These people are rich. Sierra says he comes from a frozen food empire. He got old money. And he got his new money. So are you a multi? I am a multi-hundredaire. That's right. I'm a multi-hundredaire. Nobody was like, oh, what is he, man, you gonna do when he got fired? People were celebrating. Like, yeah, that's what he get for not taking that shot. But these guys is gonna be all right. They're gonna be all right. I don't mean to keep bringing this up. It just keep popping up in my news feed. Maybe because I keep looking at stories about it. You know how the algorithm works. Nobody actually knows how the algorithm works. But we do know if you click on a story, you're going to keep seeing stories about that same thing if it keep coming up. And because of this, this is from The Root. As the career fallout for Jonathan Majors. For those of you who don't know who Jonathan Majors is, he was an actor. He was an actor, or he is an actor. He was like really just now hitting his stride. 2 #1 movies back to back. And when I say back to back, he had 1 #1 movie, and then his next movie knocked that movie out of #1. Back to back, #1 movies. He was living his best life until he may or may not have choked somebody. We don't know. Black man, and I don't know. We'll see. But this story from The Root, as the career fallout for Jonathan Majors continues, stemming from what authorities have described as a domestic dispute between him and a 30-year-old woman. New footage has been made public that shows the alleged victim out at a club with friends after the incident took place. In the video, the victim can be seen entering Lucy's nightclub at the Moxie Hotel in Manhattan with friends shortly after the alleged incident took place, around 1:30 a.m. In another clip, she's shown ordering a drink and talking with her friends before moving on to a different section of the club. I'm not exactly sure what to make of that. Got to make something of it. It's important, ain't it? Like if you and your dude or you and your girl get into a physical altercation where the police are called and you are taken to the hospital. Because she was taken to the hospital, right? Yeah. He was arrested. She was taken to the hospital. And then you leave the hospital and go to the club? I'm not sure that lends a whole lot to the idea that, like, she was in any sort of danger. But, again, you can't tell people how to react to stuff. So, for all I know, she got choked, slapped up and choked up. And she went to the hospital. They checked her out. They said, you cool. She said, look, this was stressful. I need to blow off some steam. I'm calling my girls. And we hitting club, what was it? Lucy's. We hitting Club Lucy's. Meet me at the Moxie Hotel. We hitting Club Lucy's. She didn't say that. If she said that, I would just do it, but she didn't say it. Scott. Somebody want to know, so where do you go after you get your ass whooped? The library? I I would imagine that you don't go kick it at a club. You go home. That's my guess. That's my guess. But I mean, look, you kind of can't be mad at her. The story, as I understand it, everything that I've read from it, and it is still a little confusing to me. She grabbed his phone. He may or may not have kind of pushed her away, slapped her, and choked her up a little bit. May or may not. We're not sure if he did. But he called the police. And then when the police showed up, surprise, surprise, he got arrested. They said, you choked her. He goes to jail, she goes to the hospital. So she didn't call the police. That's my understanding. So I don't know that you can really blame her. I don't know that you can really blame her. But I mean, at the same time, look, if me and, I'm not going to say Mrs. Livingston because we married. And that's a whole different situation. If I'm kicking it with some chick, we ain't really dating, you know what I'm saying? I might be hitting it here and there, but we friends. And we out. There's a misunderstanding. Police come and arrest me, take her to the hospital. And then I find out while I'm in jail, she went to the club. I know we can't be friends no more. You was out at the club while I was in jail. We can't be friends no more. We not cool. But do I blame her? Let's not say Raven. I would never hit Raven in either sense of the word. Wouldn't do it. But yeah, no, we couldn't be friends no more. That's for sure. But I don't know. But that's what's going on. It's like now they're looking for dirt on her, which is not necessary because she said he didn't do anything wrong. So you don't have to dig up dirt on her. You don't have to dig up dirt on her. She has come out and said he didn't do anything wrong. Apparently she said she told the police he didn't do anything wrong. So I don't like them kind of digging up dirt on her. I do know we couldn't be friends after that. We couldn't be friends after that. What else is going on? I saw another story I wanted to talk about, but I can't think of what it is. 513-717-5464. I promise you, Scott, I do want to know what happened with the young 11-year-old. I want to know what happened. Because as I kind of pay attention to the story, it doesn't seem like, well, I don't know. You kind of want to blame all kind of stuff. You want to blame guns. You want to blame young people. You want to blame whatever. Did I hear about the man eaten by bed bugs while being held in a mental institution? No, I did not. Scott says, I want to know also. Like, yeah, it's It's a very tragic situation. I hope she recovers. I hope she recovers. Um, Hold on. That was another story that I wanted to discuss. I don't have it though right now. Hold on, let me say this. With regard to all of this tax abatement stuff. And look, I'm not in the field of selling homes, or I'm not in the field of what do they call it? When you invest in property and development and all that kind of stuff. I'm not in that field. I do see where the whole hold on, Janice asked me a question. Are most of the people still on the Emanuel Livingston page? Yes. Yes. Most of the people are still on my personal page and not on the afternoon experiment page. Yes. But I am a little bothered at the idea that these tax abatements are indeed taking money from the school system, taking money from the kids. And I understand everybody who's like, oh, but you need tax abatements in order to draw people and to spur development and all of that kind of stuff. I understand. I understand the concept. I don't necessarily agree with it to the degree that people state it. Like, people horribly overstate it. I did hear the mayor, Avtap, who I like, by the way. I heard Avtap, and he says, look, I'm not one that's prone to, use hyperbole. So I don't think it's overstating it when I say that without tax abatements, no one will build a house in Cincinnati. But you're not prone to hyperbole? Not at all. Just you really believe that without tax abatements, not a single human will ever build a home in Cincinnati again? Now, before y'all get mad at me, no, man, that's not what he meant. When he says he's not prone to hyperbole. See, that's the type of thing that you can just kind of pass off as hyperbole. Like, he don't really mean that. He's speaking hyperbolically. Like, he's exaggerating the point to make the point. But when you start off by saying, I'm not one who's prone to hyperbole, and I don't think that this is overstating it, and then you say something as nonsensical as that. And to me, that's almost the same as like what Tucker Carlson and them do. Trying to scare people into stuff. You create a situation where it's like, if I don't get my way, the world is going to crash. It's going to come to an end. It's going to stop spinning. We're all going to die. So, well, I don't want everybody to die. We better do what he say. No one is going to build a house in Cincinnati ever again if we don't have tax abatements. And again, I'm not even necessarily against tax abatements. I do think you got to find a way to do it so that it is fair. And I want to say like fair for everybody, but it's not going to be fair for everybody. One of the other points that he brought up is a extremely valid point. If you don't have money to do a development, to buy a home, to fix up your house, you're not going to be able to take advantage of these tax abatements. You're just not. So it's not going to be fair for everybody. I get that. But you got to find a way to make it more fair, which he says their plan does. I haven't, really looked at their plan, analyzed it. Not that I'm the person to analyze that. Again, I'm not in real estate. I know people in real estate, but I'm not in real estate. And I'm not, involved in people that do funding for schools. But, and that was the other thing he said. It's not $81 million that the schools have lost over the last 6 years. It's not $81 million. That number is not correct. And I really was just waiting for Lincoln Ware to ask the simple question. So what's the correct number? That's not a hard question to ask. If somebody tells you that a highly publicized number in terms of financially, money going to the school or money not going to the school is not a correct number, it's like reflex to say, well, what is the correct number? At least that would be reflex for me. $81 million, that's not the correct number. All right, what's the correct number? But that question didn't get asked. Because then, of course, the question would be, well, if it's not 81 and you don't know what it is, how can you say with 100% certainty that it's not 81? Simple stuff like that. Another question they didn't ask, and I'll get back to this, is, what's his thoughts on the fire chief? I heard what he said, Lincoln. I heard what Lincoln said. Well, I didn't even want to waste time asking that question because I know what the answer is going to be. And y'all don't understand, this is a huge fight that Lincoln and I have had or had for like 21 years. It doesn't matter if you know what the answer is going to be. You still ask the question. Because other people need to hear you ask the question. And then that answer actually needs to be stated. Kind of putting people on the record. I mean, if you ask me, that's like interviewing 101. I know he can't say nothing about the fire chief thing. But I'm asking him, allow him to say, well, I can't talk about that. Because a lot of times, here's what happens. And a lot of times this happens. Okay, Mr. Mayor, or AFTAB, or whatever he was calling him, sweetheart. I don't remember exactly what he was calling him. Well, all right, baby. You say, tell us what's going on with the fire chief. How do you feel about the way that whole thing went down? And here's a lot of times what'll happen. That's in litigation. I'm not allowed to speak on that. But let me just say this. And then you get a little nugget of something out of that. Because they don't always like to say, I can't talk about that. It's in litigation. And then let it go. They like to add a little something and try to make it as general as possible. But sometimes you can get something from that, which is why you ask the question. Lincoln, that's a lawsuit has been filed. It's pending litigation, so I really can't speak on it. But let me just say this. I trust 100% my city manager, and I back her 100% on this. Whatever she did, I'm on her. You know what I'm saying? There'll be something so that when something happens and then they start trying to go after the city manager, then you can pull that out and you can say, wait a minute, hold on. I thought you 100% backed the city manager's decision to do this. But now you're throwing her under the bus. What's up with that? That's why you ask the question. Because you never know what's actually going to be said. But back to what I was saying. Hold on. Somebody says Lincoln was calling the mayor sweetheart. I thought I might have heard a sweetheart or a baby or something in there. Maybe it was just his tone of voice. It made me feel like that. But I can't say, I don't know. I had to go back and look. He might have threw a sweetheart or a baby in there. Go back and watch it and tell me for sure. But yeah, when we're talking about, they got to figure out a way to not cheat the schools out of money for the sake of progress. To not cheat the schools out of money for the sake of development. It's got to be a way to do that. It's got to be a way. Is the mayor an African-American woman? No. No, he's not. That would be unfortunate. That would be unfortunate if that happened. Daryl. But yeah, no, they got to figure out a way to do it and to not, for the schools to not lose money. That's what's got to happen. You know what? I heard that.
No.
Yes, I did.
No.
You didn't finish eating?
No.
Hmm?
No. I'm full.
It's only one more bite.
I'm full.
That's because you ate them cookies. Yes.
They're not cookies.
They were cookies. Pamela, is that a question directed towards me? What city do I live in? I live in the city of Cincinnati. I live in the city of Cincinnati. Yes, in the actual city of Cincinnati. Not Montgomery, not Fairfield, not Hamilton, in the actual city of Cincinnati. Anthony says, we need to see the numbers. Both sides have different numbers on this. What's the other numbers? Because I've heard one number say 81. I've just heard the other side say it ain't 81. So what is the other number? Oh, Pamela says she was talking to CK. Okay. Well, I'm all right with that. Brian says take it out of the police budget. They get a third of all the city's entire budget. They're not going to take it out the police budget. People are effectively afraid, and crime don't help. But people are afraid. Politicians are afraid to say that, Brian. You know this. Politicians are afraid to say, look, we can cut the city budget and y'all going to be just as safe today as y'all are when we cut the budget for police. Y'all going to be just as safe today. And again, y'all know me. I'm not bashing the police. I'm not bashing the police. I would never do that. But somebody getting shot in the middle of the night, police ain't going to stop that. All these seemingly random acts of violence. The police don't stop that stuff. They just don't. It's just the truth. So you're right. They could, but they won't. They've scared everyone so much that politically there's definitely no will to do it. And in terms of even the community actually believes that the police need all of that money to keep us safe. But they're not keeping us safe. They're not keeping us safe. Yeah, that's true. The police don't prevent crime. Well, hold on, sometimes I would imagine the police can prevent certain crimes. I would imagine that the presence of police from time to time does prevent certain people from committing criminal acts. In my mind, that's logical. It makes sense. It happens. But just as the general rule, No. Brent says the city needs to end Shot Spotter. It hasn't solved a crime across the country outside of when they manually manipulate the data. Or data, whichever is correct. Could they take money from the police department? Yes. Will they? No. No. Should they? Probably. Probably. And everybody talking about they shouldn't, law enforcement talking about they shouldn't. Y'all know that y'all wasteful. Come on, that's just the truth. Law enforcement, you guys are wasteful. I think you're trained to be that way. And I'm not saying this to be funny or to be mean or to be any of that stuff. Where are you going?
To go sit upstairs.
I'm not saying it to be mean or any of that kind of stuff. Just simple stuff like sitting with the cars idling. That's wasteful. And how much money could that possibly cost? Think about the cost of gas. Why don't you, when you come in and you go home, or when you go into a grocery store, why don't you just park your car and leave it idling while you shop? Because that's going to waste a lot of gas. And when you add that up over the year, if you did that every time you went somewhere, just left the car parked, idling, that would cost you a lot of money. And then you multiply that by all of the police on all of the shifts that do it. And that's just one example of waste. That's just one example of waste. So, come on. The truth of the matter is, and that's not just the police, like every city department could probably cut waste and save the city a lot of money. That's just the truth. That's just the truth. And I mean, if you think about you and your home, there are probably things that you could do to cut down on waste at home. And you actually care about the money at your house. But when this just keep coming in and keep coming in and keep coming in, I ain't thinking about that. Ain't thinking about that. Good afternoon, Walter. Jeannie says the screen and feed are frozen. Is everybody else seeing that? Is that the case? Am I frozen? I don't even know what that was. Lewis says no. No, not frozen. Jeannie, refresh. Refresh. Jeannie, you got an Android, don't you? You be watching on an Android or a Windows computer. Refresh. Lewis, the random of random. You should try Alabama's fish on Liberty. No, thank you. I'll pass. I don't care for their fish. So, and I know they're white owned, so a lot of y'all really support them. But yeah, Jeannie, everybody's saying no, so maybe it's you. This is not a COVID cough, or at least I don't think so. I mean, I haven't been tested for COVID since I left the radio station. But I feel like I got tested enough while I was at the radio station to last me a lifetime. Towards the end, it was 3 times a week. I had to get tested 3 times a week just to go to work. Lay off the Android, bro. You the cat with the iPhone 3 still. I got an iPhone. What are we up to now? 14? So that means I got a 13. If we up to 14, I got a 13. If we up to 13, I got a 12. Whatever the last one is, I bought my phone right before they dropped the last one. And somebody said, don't buy this latest one. I don't remember who it was, so I didn't buy it. LaDonna says we up to 15, so if we up to 15, I got a 14. So don't hate. Don't hate. Samuel says they're white owned. I didn't know that. I think you're trying to be funny. Let me go to the phone. Fame. Fame.
Hi, Emanuel.
Hello.
Hi, this is Fame Rothstein, a.k.a. Hacksaw Jim Thuggin. How you living?
Large.
Oh, I thought you would say like in mansions and Benzes or something like that, but
Oh, I'm sorry.
like the song say.
Yes.
But I just want to sing a song of Sixpence and rejoice in the fact that funky ass, rotten whore Carolyn Bryant has expired.
Yeah. That's kind of cold.
It's not. It was cold what she did to that black boy. That's what's cold.
That's true.
Yeah. To hell with her. 'Cause that's exactly where she's going.
Okay.
Her soul is burning right now in purgatory. You understand me? And I just want to rejoice. You know, I thought about her when you talked about how Alabama Fish Bar is white owned, and it just made me think of her. You know, I'm like, well, if we're gonna diss white people, let's diss this white lady.
Well,
You understand me?
I'm not sure that saying that they're white owned is dissing white people, but I get your point.
I mean, it was just a what do you call that? It just made me think of her. That's all I can say, really.
Okay.
It really made me think of her when you said that. You know, because I like the Alabama Fish Bar. It's a Cincinnati institution.
Okay.
You know, whether we like it or not, it is a Cincinnati institution, white owned or not. And
Well, I don't like it. I don't like the fish. I don't like the I don't like it. I don't like the way that they conduct their business. That irritates me. But that's just me.
again, it's a Cincinnati institution. It's here to stay. I mean, it's just as part of the fabric of Cincinnati as chocolate and cinnamon chili, the Regal Cinemas. It's a part of the fabric of this community.
Hold on, what did you say?
Just like
Wait, what did the Regal what?
Cinemas.
There wasn't no S on there.
Regal Cinema, whatever. Oh, you doing that Kroger stuff too? You on that?
No,
Kroger, Big,
I'm sorry,
Walmart,
I didn't state that right.
You on that?
Hold on,
Yeah,
Fame,
back off,
Fame.
genius, like Ice Cube said. Back off,
Fame.
genius. I
Fame.
don't need you to correct my broken English.
Fame.
Yes, sir.
I stated that wrong. It was actually a question because it may have been cinemas. Did they have multiple screens there that they showed multiple movies on and stuff?
I don't remember.
Yeah.
You know, I just know they had some bomb-ass hot dogs and very good buttered popcorn. You know what I'm saying? And I was just talking about how it was a fabric of, you know, the black community because of where it was located.
Okay, if you say so. Look, I'm not arguing with you. You love Alabama Fish Bar. You love white people. You love, all of that stuff. Okay, you got a right to love they fish and they whiteness.
That's right. I'm the next Lincoln Ware. I think you back.
I don't know how you tied Lincoln Ware to that.
That was just something you would say about him. You know, he's good friends with Bill Cunningham and all them cats. You know what I'm saying? But I digress. Hey, man, I just wanted to bring out, the Carolyn Bryant. I didn't hear y'all talk about it. I'm sorry. And I just saw that on Twitter from a couple hours ago. Like, yeah, I'm glad this is gone.
Okay.
I've never been so excited about somebody dying. Feel like I'm getting an inheritance. You understand me? Although I'm not, it just feels like I'm about to, get a call from the lawyer and say, yeah, come down and sign for this $1 million. Even though that ain't what's going to happen, but I'm that excited. To hell with her. She needed to have been up out of there. You reporters that were harboring where she was at in Kentucky, you're assholes. Each and every one of you. You knew where she was at, you know, and we're trying to protect where she was at. And I feel like you did the journalists and journalism a disservice by doing that. But that's for another subject, another day. Again, it's been real. I enjoyed my time with you, and hopefully we'll have more good times in the future. Be well.
All right. That is Fame. No, let me do that. Yeah, that's Fame. Fame is glad that she's dead. And again, it's just something about that. I understand it. So I'm not saying, like, that makes him a bad person. I'm not saying that. But it's just something about that rubs my spirit the wrong way. I understand it again. I do. I understand it. There's something about it rubs mine the wrong way. Let me go back to the phone. CK?
What's up, Livingston? How you doing, brother?
I'm doing fantastic. How about you?
Man, I just heard the last caller. My God. Did you hear the words that was coming out of his mouth?
I did.
Oh, my God. Hey, you right. Like you said, it rubs you the wrong way because it's two things you don't talk about. Old folks and dead people, because you're going to be one. You know what I mean? You don't talk about the dead because your ass can go out there and get hit by a car like tomorrow.
See, now,
Tonight.
CK, I don't know that I agree with that. I don't have a problem with talking about the dead. Like, to say that what she did was absolutely horrible and, you know, to speak about, you know, bad people and be willing to honestly, once they dead, honestly say, but he or she was a bad person. I don't have a problem with that. But it is something about celebrating somebody's death. Like, yeah, I'm glad that MF is dead. I don't like that.
Right. You remember Glenn? You remember Glenn, right?
I remember Glenn.
Okay. Remember I asked you, I was like, me and you was arguing about some old Bill Cosby or something, and I said, man, you can get killed today or I can get killed today, and nobody wouldn't give a damn. And he commented, he was like, well, we'd be sad if Emanuel died, but CK, if your ass died, we'd be happy. And then look what happened. I was like, you don't play with death like that. You see what I'm saying? That was deep. You remember Glenn? He was from the outside.
No, I remember Glenn. I vaguely remember what you're talking about. I vaguely remember that conversation.
Yeah, he thought it was a game. God took him. Oh, you want to play about the dead? Oh, come chill with us. Don't play like that. You know what I mean? Just like you said, what she did was horrific, but I can't make fun of her because I could join her and have a personal conversation with her, if you catch my drift. Because God is almighty and he could do whatever.
Okay.
You know what I mean? You don't play like that. Let the dead rest. She gone now. What they say, you going to be judged.
All right.
You know what I mean? She just got away with that stuff, and she got away with that stuff because this is America, and they let Emmett Till go through that. And, you know, I was mad that they went and got that little boy out the house. That was an outrage.
The whole situation was definitely outrageous.
Yeah. Why would you? Okay, so, the little boy winked at her. Okay. Just tell him don't do that no more. Why would you kill him, Mr. Livingston? Why would you murder a little boy for winking at a white girl, even if that is what happened?
Well, just because of hatred.
Hatred of kids? Or hatred of black people?
Hatred of black people.
Mm.
If I hate you as a race, I feel like you're beneath me. You should be subservient to me, and all of that nonsense. Then, yeah, any perceived anything, I want you gone. It's horrible.
But if I But if I hate white folks, I don't want their children dead. You just hate white folks. You ain't got that. Don't mean just like you can hate gay people. That just hate. That don't mean you want them dead. You just hate them. It's a whole nother level when you start acting on your emotions. Okay, it's cool. You don't like black folks, let it be cool. You don't go killing a little bitty boy. You know what I mean? Because he come down from Chi-Town. He come down from Chicago. He ain't used to all this. They say he winked out. I don't even believe he winked out. He just probably, he probably just carried himself with confidence. And I think that's what really happened.
Probably.
Like, look at him.
Probably.
Yeah. Yeah, man, come on, man. I just had to call. I had to call you because this is ridiculous. And, I was just outraged about, she passed away. She got to live her whole entire life. Emmett Till didn't get to live his life. But I'm not going to celebrate the white woman death. Because then I'm going to be deaf. You see what I'm saying?
I don't know that it works like that, but I don't know that it works like that, but I understand your point.
You remember Biggie said ready to die. Then he died, and his next album was called Life After Death. We ain't seen him at a concert since.
That don't necessarily...
Missed the whole internet.
Right, but that don't necessarily mean that that's the way that works. Just,
right, man.
A little coincidental maybe.
Oh, you think you don't think you could knock on death's door and I just gave you the story with Glenn. Glenn just said, CK, we would be happy if you died. We would be mad if Emanuel died. Again, he didn't take neither one of me, but he took him. That's what I'm saying.
Again, coincidental. That's just coincidental. I mean, that's just coincidental.
And remember, he was teasing you about not taking the jab. He was getting on you about the jab. That ain't no coincidence. He was like, damn, Livingston, you need to take the jab before you be up out of here. Don't be up out of here. You forgot?
It is coincidental. Look, I'm not 100% sure that getting vaccinated didn't do something to his heart. You know what I'm saying? I'm not 100% sure of that. Because other than that, to my knowledge, and I know he was working out.
Right.
He seemed like a otherwise healthy dude. And I know that daggone vaccine did mess with some people's hearts. And so I wouldn't be shocked. They would never say it, but I wouldn't be shocked if him having gotten that vaccine messed up his heart. And that was why that brother passed away. But that's not in response to him telling me that I should take the shot. It's just a terrible set of circumstances.
He didn't respect. Remember, I said respect what you were just saying. I don't care about you. You good. You do what you want to do. But he was trying to peer pressure you into taking the shot. He like, man, all right, you gonna die, man. You don't get that. See, you keep playing with the shit, and it'll come back on you. You don't tell people, well, if you don't get the jab, you gonna be dead.
I don't think it works.
Because we all gonna die.
I don't think it works like that, though.
Oh. I got to work these things out, man. I got to work it out, man. Yeah. I just had to holler at you, let you know I'm still breathing, man. I ain't dead yet. You feel me?
All right.
Rest in peace to that old white lady that got Emmett Till murdered. That was sad. And rest in peace to him. He's a great person. Emmett Till. R.I.P.
All right. That's CK. All right. I vaguely remember that conversation. And I look, Glenn was, he had a personality and then he had a radio persona. He had a personality and he had a radio persona. And so just because, he was a little harsh on the radio from time to time, he was a good dude. So I don't think that that's the way that stuff works. I don't think that's the way that stuff works. Jenny says, squash the Glenn talk in a negative manner. If people get to talk about people, they get to talk about them positive and negative. They do. LaDonna says, I told y'all, I believe it killed my boyfriend. I never heard you say that. I didn't know that. I did not know that. Janice says there's such a thing as manifesting. Yeah, but I don't think, just because you say something negative about a dead person, that means you about to die. I don't believe that. Black Lions say, why black folk keep forgiving these pinks, even for murder? I don't know. For me, it's not about forgiveness. It's just about, like, look, I'm not sad that the lady dead. She probably deserved to die a long time ago. Like when the justice system deserved to find her guilty of participating in this murder and sentence her to death. That's what should have happened a long time ago. But it didn't happen. And even if it had happened then, I still don't know that celebrating would have been the best thing to do. But again, that's just me. That's why I didn't tell Fame, don't say that on my show. He got a right to feel how he feel. And to express it. I let people do that. But I also express my thoughts. And I don't think that's a good way to go. Hold on. Let me see. But no, I mean, the lady's, she's dead. She's dead. She deserved it a long time ago. She's gone now. I don't feel bad for her. I don't feel bad for her family. I don't feel bad for anybody who cared for her. You're feeling like a tiny bit of the loss that, you know, virtually the entire black population in America felt when they heard about Emmett Till. Even to this day, like when young people hear about Emmett Till for the first time, it really affects them. They feel that loss. A lot of them do. They feel that loss. Something that happened way before they was born. They feel that loss. So her relatives and loved ones who feel a loss, you feel nothing compared to what the entire black American people feel. So I don't feel bad for them at all. Not at all. My Usher says, I have a family member who don't speak to me because I don't think everyone deserves forgiveness. She thinks I'm evil for feeling that way. I don't think you're evil for feeling that way. Not for feeling that way. No, I'm just playing. I don't think you're evil at all. I don't think you're evil at all. Jason says she's roasted in hell with all involved parties. I mean, you know, if that's what you believe. But people who don't believe in hell, people who, you know, all of that kind of stuff. I'll say the legacy that her and all of the involved parties left here is not a good one. And her being gone don't make me sad, feel bad, or any of that kind of stuff at all. This is one of those times when, you know, you wish that Lincoln's theory of death comes in threes was true. And so, you know, maybe two more people who have escaped justice based on some wicked racial hate that they got away with, maybe they'll die in the next 30 days. If it's true, then let it work out that way. Let it work out that way. I did not say she was evil. She is rich, but I didn't say she was evil. But y'all really don't have no, like, don't y'all feel like, say for example, and it's different, but it's kind of the same kind of mentality. Like the people who, for example, didn't like Martin Luther King, who celebrated when he was assassinated. Don't you think that was out of line? They legitimately didn't like him. They felt like what he was doing was wrong and evil. Well, we know it wasn't, but that's how they felt. Ain't it a little inappropriate to, even though that's how you feel, to like openly and outwardly celebrate it? Even when they killed, what's his name? Osama bin Laden. And people were outside celebrating. And if you believe Osama bin Laden did everything that they say Osama bin Laden did, I question everything. They say he did some stuff. I don't know. That's what they say. I can't say that I know it to be true. But when he got killed and they were celebrating. Hold on, I got a call coming in. Caller?
Emanuel.
Yes.
It's my own show. You knew it was me.
I thought for a second it was Mars Shot coming back.
Oh, you got jokes. You got jokes. You know
I can't even laugh without coughing. Oh.
And you know what I just thought of, and I want to see if you remember this. After Barack had that press conference where he announced that they had killed Osama bin Laden and everybody was cheering at the White House and people came out to the White House waving flags and cheering and being happy and everything. And hold on. Okay. And I accidentally clicked on something. Yeah. And you were like, well, I don't think that anybody should be cheering and celebrating over somebody's death, even if it was an evil man and all that. And do you remember that?
Vaguely, I remember. Yeah, because that's how I feel. Yeah.
And I had told you I am not going to sit in judgment of how anybody should feel about a situation like that. Can you imagine if your mother or father was the one that had to jump out of the building, the Twin Towers, when the plane flew into it because he was debating on whether or not I should burn alive or jump out the window? Those are my only two choices. I mean, if a family member or anybody had somebody who was in those buildings, you're trying to dictate how they should feel because the man responsible for that is dead.
Well,
and that's just completely wrong, in my opinion.
Well, first, I don't dictate how anyone should feel. How you feel and whether or not you openly and outwardly express that are two different things. So you can feel however you want to feel. Who am I to tell somebody how to feel? And I'm not even telling them that they can't celebrate. I'm saying I don't think people should. That's my opinion.
Yeah, well, your opinion is wrong. So
that's horrible.
Just like I'm evil, your opinion is wrong.
I never said you were evil. I said you rich.
Well, I have not. I have not to think so. Well, that's okay. It's cool. I was just calling to see if you remembered that. I was very upset with you and mad and everything.
It is still how I feel. I'd like to try to be consistent, even though, I'll change if when presented with either new information or compelling information, a compelling argument. Your argument is not compelling.
Whatever, bro. What's up with the shave? I thought you were going to shave.
I didn't get around to it. I just didn't get around to it.
Okay. I just wanted to know if you remember that. That's all I got.
All right. Well, I appreciate your call.
Have a good one.
All right, you do so.
Bye, Queen of Talk.
Don't stop it. Stop it. Open the door. Oh, did you let him in? Did you let him in? Did you let him in? You gotta let him in.
I'm giving you the phone.
Oh, bring it here. Hurry up. Hurry up. Hold on. Hold on. How you gonna leave? How you gonna leave? Don't be trying to play me. Don't be trying to play me. All right.
I couldn't do it because I have this egg on.
Whatever. That was a sucky hug if I ever had one. Next time, it's got to be twice as good.
I know.
All right. All right. Y'all hold on. I got to make sure that she does the right thing. I got to hear it. Hurry up. Why are you moving so slow? Faster. Faster. You're moving slow, like molasses. And then she left the phone on. I gotta make sure she opened the door. She be having a hard time getting the door open, so I might have to run up there. Hold on a second. All right, I gotta run up there. I don't think she can get the door open. I'll be right back. Can you get it open? All right. All right, I'm back. I'm going to run up there and let her out. She does not need a podcast. Not at all. Got to catch my breath. All right. But yeah, no, I'm not a big fan of celebrating people's death. But if that's what you want to do, you do it. I'm not mad at nobody who's happy that that woman is dead. Not mad at anybody at all. So, that's that. Let me think. Do I have anything else? I got to get ready to get out of here. I know it's only 4:35, but my throat and my chest are starting to hurt from all of this coughing. It's starting to hurt from all of this coughing. Why did I do the old man grunt to sit down? Because I'm an old man. Come on. Old men do what old men do. Old men do what old men do. Oh, you know what? Y'all let me say something, and the only person who corrected me was Sierra. The only person. Y'all let me talk about somebody's plot in life. I don't know where plot came from. No idea. But I'm talking about, I guess that's your plot in life. And the only person I saw say something about it was Sierra. Look, don't let me be wrong. Don't let me be wrong. If I say something nonsensical or, that is not the correct thing to say, correct me. Correct me. Y'all just don't let me walk around talking about that's your plot in life. Anybody ever heard it was black people that killed Emmett? I heard that there were, that they took some black people with them. I think they were the ones who identified him. And I'm sure they made them do some of the stuff. I watched a documentary. I think most of us watched it, where they did talk about there were some black people involved, but not necessarily of their own free will. Like, they knew if they had not done what they were being told to do, they would be dead right alongside him. So, yeah, I've heard that. But it's not the same. Sierra says, I try to help when I can. I appreciate that. Hold on, let me get to the phone. Brent.
Good afternoon, Emanuel. How are you doing?
Good afternoon, Brent. I'm fantastic. How about you?
Oh, I'm fine. I saw your post on your Facebook page, and you're trying to blame me for something now?
Absolutely. It's going to be 100% your fault. It's going to happen.
Could this be because of a post in a totally unrelated Facebook group about what was it, Teddy Long's 5-minute white boy challenge?
That's right. You posted that knowing, I believe every fiber of your being knew that if Emanuel Livingston sees this, he's going to seize upon it and it's going to become a segment potentially on his show. I believe you knew that when you posted it. So, yeah, I got to check with legal and get all of the parameters together. But at some point on the afternoon experiment with Emanuel Livingston, you just might find yourself in the middle of the 5-minute white boy challenge. Player.
Oh, man, I forgot that you were even in that group. That was hilarious. But to segue on from that, it's time for the wrestling report.
All right.
And did you happen to see about the draft on Monday, the WWE draft?
I know that they're doing one.
Okay, and did you also know that since no one could beat the head of the table, Roman Reigns, that Triple H said, hell, we'll just create another world title and let him keep the other two?
I don't like that at all. I don't like that at all.
Yes, to me that is just poor writing, poor long-term writing, because they didn't have a way to jump off of allowing Roman Reigns to lose but still remain one of the top guys. And to me, they didn't elevate the other guys around him to be able to slide in, or at least just get one of the belts off of him, since you have to have a SmackDown champion and a Raw champion.
And there's a number of creative ways that they could have done that without making him lose the belt that he's held for for coming up on 1,000 days. They could have took the one title from him and left him with the other. And like I said, there were creative ways to do it, but for whatever reason, they didn't think of it.
Yeah. My idea was to have a triple threat match. The first pinfall gets the Universal belt.
Yep.
And then the second pinfall would get the world belt, which would allow him the opportunity to still walk out of there with both belts.
Exactly.
With the second one, he wins the first one. The second one, there's some chicanery, foreign object, sledgehammer, who knows, whatever comes out. But that would allow him to drop one of the belts.
Exactly.
And keep the main belt, like you were saying, and go on into 1,000 days, pushing towards Bruno Sammartino.
And, of course, he doesn't get pinned. You know what I'm saying? You just triple threat rule. So you have somebody else get pinned, and then he loses that title, because there were creative ways to do it. They went the chump route.
Yes, they did. But all right. Well, I'm looking forward to see where you take this 5-minute white boy challenge. I got some ideas, but I'm sure with the way your mind works, it's going to be something worthy of watching on Facebook Live.
All right, Brent.
All right. You have a good one.
You do the same. All right, that was Brent. Y'all, why y'all be hating on wrestling? Why y'all be hating on wrestling? And yes, they're actors. Yes. It's scripted. Yes. We know that. It's still fun. All the stuff you watch on TV, just about everything, guess what? They're actors and it's scripted. So what? It's still fun. Those people on Succession, they're not actually those people. Is Hulk Hogan still world champ? Funny. He could be. Jason says, because you won't watch NFL. And Lewis, boxing is scripted on occasion. I believe that wholeheartedly. Yes. I believe same with the NBA and NFL. You don't think them phantom penalties come out of nowhere? They know who they want to win. Hold on. Let me see. Is that a V-neck shirt? It is. You like it? I only don't like I have to wear this so my titties don't be showing. I feel like, you know, how women do now. And it'd be especially women with like big titties. And they wear something to show their titties. And then they put on a jacket and they always doing this. So I feel like one of them. I got to cover up my titties. I haven't liked wrestling since my brother would take over the TV to watch Bobo Brazil and the Sheik when we were lit. Pamela, how old are you? Bobo Brazil and the Sheik? Like, when I was a kid, I was watching Hulk Hogan in them. I think my mom and them was watching Bobo Brazil and the Sheik. Oh, my God. Look like a U shirt. No, it don't. It's a nice, firm V. It's a nice, firm V. There's no sag in it or anything. Succession is patterned after Rupert Murdoch and his children and their media empire, but they're not actually people who own a media empire. They're actors pretending to. See? Man breasts are nasty. Oh. They not as big as they look in the shirt. Ladies, y'all can roll with me on this one. The shirt make them look bigger than they actually are. But it's something about the drape of the shirt. And, you know, I kind of sit hunched over a little bit too. But it's something about the drape of the shirt that make them look bigger than they are. But they not actually that big. I'll flash y'all. They not actually that big, but yeah, I don't like them. Yeah, I got to get in the gym and work out. Stop talking about your man parts. You know what kind of attention you would get from certain people. That's true. I had a guy who y'all all know who he is. I had a guy fantasizing about me making my booty clap. And I'm like, you a man. Why are you thinking about my booty? Stop. And then he was fantasizing about the way I be stroking. I'm like, don't worry about how I be stroking. Just know I be stroking. That's what I be doing. So yeah, you're right. The Rock and Stone Cold were the main wrestlers when I was a kid. That wasn't that long ago. Pamela says I'll be 60 in October. No, Pamela, not if you was watching Bobo Brazil and the Sheik wrestling on TV. How old were you? Like, you remember what happened when you were 1? Is that what you're saying? You remember what happened when you were 1? Yes, I vaguely remember Mama taking me to Cincinnati Gardens to see Bobo versus the Sheik. Yeah, Moms liked wrestling. Where's Hank at to hear you say that? Don't talk him up. Don't talk him up. And I'm gonna get a good talking to if you talk Hank up. I like Hank. He be giving me the business. He's trying to motivate me to get back at it, and I really do need to get back at it. But every time I plan to get back at it, which is just the way that it works, something happens. Like, y'all not gonna believe me, but I told Mrs. Livingston a few days ago, I said, I think I got my workout all together, and I'm gonna start working out on a regular basis this week. She said, okay. Because she know, I'll be serious. She can tell when I'm just talking and when I'm not. And the next thing you know, I got this cough and, I got some soreness and stuff like that. And it's not good for me to work out when I'm sick. So now I got to wait till this pass. It sounds like excuses, but it's really not. Who in the hell is Bobo Brazil? You know who Bobo Brazil is. Stop it. Ultimate Warrior and the Legion of Doom were my guys. The fact that you calling them the Legion of Doom bothers me. They just Road Warriors. They became the Legion of Doom when they went to the WWF, and they were a watered down version of themselves by that point, which means if you liked the Legion of Doom, you would have loved the Road Warriors. Just imagine what you missed. Let me see. Push through it. Nah, I can't push. Not when I'm sick. I can't push through it. I can't. Yeah. And they are sitting right there. They are sitting right there, ready to go. That's so sorry. I'm so sorry. I just checked. Bobo Brazil was still wrestling in the early 70s. All right. You might have me on that one. The Road Warriors used to beat the shiggity out of those jobbers. I felt sorry for them in their $25 payday. The Road Warriors were hard. Yeah. Green tea, lemon, and honey. Yeah, I had to start because a couple days ago, y'all heard me. I just had a cough but now it's like really deep in my chest. And this is the kind of cough that makes me lose my voice. And that's the last thing I need. So yeah, I had to start doing something. And yes, the green tea, lemon, and honey, they are on the menu. Ray Walk says they're the same people. Yeah, they are the same people, but they were watered down by that point. Like, you get certain people and, they're at their peak and you're like, oh my goodness, he's amazing and he's this and he's that. No matter what it is. Like, it's like, here is the best example I can come up with. It's like you talking about how great Michael Jordan was. Like, oh, I loved Michael Jordan. And I'm like, yeah, Michael Jordan was, really good. And you like, boy, when he played for the Wizards, he was like the best. And then I'm like, hold on. You're talking about the Wizards, Michael Jordan? Yeah, I used to love to see him play when he played for the Wizards. And I'm like, but he played for Chicago. And he was like really good when he played for Chicago. The Wizards was a watered down version of what happened in Chicago. And you're like, it's the same person. It is the same person, but it's different phases of the same person. So you saw the Michael Jordan from the Wizards. You missed the Michael Jordan from the Bulls. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. The Road Warriors was the Michael Jordan from the Bulls. The Legion of Doom was Michael Jordan with the Wizards. Oh, yeah, why y'all bothering that brother about them shirts? Just stop being sick. Isn't that what you said last week? Look, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Y'all trying to use somebody's words against them. What's wrong with y'all? You up there looking like one of the bushwhackers right now. I need to shape up. I really do. I really do. And Myosha, honestly, I never heard of that name, but I'm super intrigued by the Cocoa Butt finisher. Cover your neck. I'm inside. I got to cover my neck. I'm inside. All right, y'all. I got to get ready to get out of here. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. Wait a minute. Another example, Brent, that's like saying the American Dream Dusty Rhodes in NWA was the same as Dusty Rhodes wearing them polka dots in WWF. Exactly. Not even the same. It's not even close. It's the same person. Yeah, it's the same person. All right, y'all. I got to get out of here. Are you on tomorrow? I intend on being on tomorrow. I'm not even sure that I got to pick the little baby up tomorrow. So, that, because I heard somebody saying that she didn't go to school tomorrow. So I had to check with her mama and see if I'm picking her up tomorrow or not. But if I pick her up tomorrow, then I'll be a little late. And if I don't pick her up tomorrow, then I'll probably be on around 3 o'clock. Unless, I wake up after a night of coughing and don't have a voice. I'll come on anyway and just let y'all know I don't have a voice. Why didn't you go to Mr. Lincoln's party? Mr. Lincoln. I never understood why. Why do people do that? It's either Lincoln or Mr. Ware. It's not Mr. Lincoln. What are you, 9? That's how little kids talk about adults. That's Miss Siobhan. And then you grow up and it's Mr. last name or just first name. But to answer your question, I wasn't allowed. I keep telling y'all this. Who ain't heard this yet? I was, I'm going to say banned from going to the party. Because I'm not vaccinated. I call him Mr. Lincoln. That's terrible. Stop it. He said you were allowed. He don't always tell the truth. He also said today that I quit. I didn't quit. As a matter of fact, I fought to stay there. I filed all kind of paperwork and appeals within the company. I just didn't want to take the daggone vaccine. But yeah, he said I was allowed, but he also said I quit. So you choose what you believe. Were they checking vax cards at the door? No, they were not checking vax cards at the door, but they know who I am. It's not like, I guess I could have wore a disguise. And, oh, I know. It kind of looks like Emanuel, but it might not be him. Come on. They knew. They would have known who I was. But I saw Janice says, even now, well, I'm told now they've totally relaxed that whole policy. Like, you don't even have to be vaccinated to work there anymore. Like, they totally got rid of that whole policy. So now I could probably go to events and stuff like that. But yeah, no, I wasn't allowed to go. I don't make they rules. I did not call her a 9-year-old. The only person allowed to call Mr. Lincoln, to call him Mr. Lincoln, is the late great Sister Francis. There was nothing that checked if we took the vaccine. If that's the case, he would have checked all of us. That's, again, they know me and they know I'm not vaccinated. They wouldn't have had to check. Why is this? This shouldn't be difficult to understand. This shouldn't be difficult to understand. They didn't want me there. This just becomes the bottom line. They didn't want me there during Lincoln Ware's 50th anniversary celebration party thing. It's that simple. It's that simple. And I wasn't gonna bust up there like, no, I'm coming in. I'm gonna congratulate Lincoln. I don't care what y'all say. No. So I didn't show up. They didn't have Vax vision. They know me. Okay. Y'all making this difficult. Sierra, let's say you have a cousin that the whole family knows. Cousin Jacob. And y'all have an event and y'all say to cousin Jacob, you can't show up because whatever. No one has to screen and all of that kind of stuff. Everybody know, hey, that's Jacob. You ain't allowed in here, Jacob. How did they know that was Jacob? They wasn't testing for Jacobs at the door. They know Jacob. Y'all know him. That's not that hard. If I'd have came strolling in there, because this is how I'd have walked. If I'd have came strolling in there, they'd have been like, Emanuel, you're not welcome. I don't actually know what they would have said or how they would have said it, but they know me. I'm sure it was a lot of people there that wasn't vaccinated. I don't know that it was necessarily about the vaccination. It was more probably just about me. They didn't want me there. They, probably still held some grudges for me not getting vaccinated and being terminated, which they, in their minds, they associate that with, oh, he quit. He left us. He this, he that. So there might have still been a grudge or two. Right. The height and the unconventional hairline would have given away my identity. like I would have been hard to spot. Just say you didn't feel like going. If that was here it is. In other words, you take their word over my word. You're deciding who's telling the truth based on just because that's what you want to decide. And you got a right to do that. But if that's the case, then that means I quit. When I know I didn't quit. I was on the phone with her when she said, okay, effective immediately, you are terminated. I didn't say, well, effective immediately, bitch, I quit. No. She said you were terminated. What did Lincoln say today? Emanuel quit. So is he telling the truth about that too? But you decide who you believe. Okay. Lincoln didn't want me there either. I don't think they would have felt like I was taking away anything. I don't think they would have felt like that. They just didn't want me to be there. I'm a ex-employee that was out of favor with management. I don't necessarily think it was Lincoln who said you can't be there. I don't think Lincoln would have minded. Angel didn't say it. I don't think Angel would have minded. But there are some higher ups who felt like when they first gave me that ultimatum and gave me whatever that specific amount of time was to decide, and I told them, I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I think they felt like I was playing them. I mean, I had already told them I'm not taking the vaccine. But, they were like, well, you got like 3 weeks. And then on this particular date, if you have to tell us by this date whether or not you're going to take the vaccine. And I told them I'm not taking the vaccine. Well, but you got until so-and-so to decide. I'm like, okay. And then well, what are you going to do? Like, I'm not taking the vaccine. I had already did the stuff to get my religious exemption. Realistically, that's what they should have did. Just honor my religious exemption. But on the day when I was terminated, there were a few particular higher ups who were like, I'm really mad at you because we could have known this weeks ago. And so in other words, you mad because y'all didn't get to fire me 3 weeks ago. You mad because y'all had to wait until today. So, yeah. Just say you didn't have anything to wear. Well, you say it for me. Say I didn't have anything to wear. But the issue isn't the vaccination then. You think they just didn't want you there regardless. I mean, they'll use you didn't take the vaccination, thus you got terminated, and we don't want you at our party. Again, what I'm going to do? I'm going to go up in there fighting people. I'm going to celebrate Lincoln. Okay. I won't go to your party. I was cool with that. That's how I stroll. That's how I get it in. I got to get ready to get out of here. He ain't really mad. He ain't really mad that he got to be on the air till 1 because he got a raise. How you know that? You don't work there. I still talk to Lincoln. This is a little something for y'all. So when y'all hear Lincoln talking about how I hate him and all of that kind of stuff, and y'all hear me talking about how Lincoln hate me, neither of us actually hate each other. Neither of us actually hate each other. I wouldn't want to see anything bad happen to Lincoln, and I don't think, for the most part, Lincoln would want to see anything bad happen to me. There was a time when he wanted to see something bad happen to me, but I don't think that time is now. I think he might get some joy from me falling on some particular misfortune. Like if, you find out Emanuel got arrested for so-and-so. It might be a little pep in his step. He might, be a little happier that day. Man, you got arrested, He's a jailbird. You might hear, something like that. But in the grand scheme of things, I got no beef with Lincoln. Lincoln got no beef with me. So when y'all hear us going back and forth, Lincoln talking about I'm a hater and I'm a hypocrite and I'm a this and I'm a that, he's just talking. Y'all take that stuff more serious than me or Lincoln. I'll be, Emanuel, he called your show talking that. And I'll be like, that Ian is mad as hell. Like, didn't you hear Lincoln on the call? He was laughing the entire time. We giving each other a hard time. Sometimes I might go a little overboard, but we just giving each other a hard time. Some old black man somewhere mad as hell. How he gonna call your show talking about what you should say. You'd be like, relax, bro. So some of y'all take it a lot more serious than the two of us. Don't get that caught up in it. Don't get that caught up in it. It ain't that serious. It ain't that deep. You did say 3 weeks prior, you said that you weren't taking the vaccine. Yeah, I had already told them. For whatever reason, they thought I might change my mind. I think you piss him off regularly. I'm sure I do. And I know I do. And then sometimes he'll call me and he'll be like, that was funny. Well, he very rarely ever calls me and says that was funny. But he'll call me and we'll joke about whatever it was. We'll joke about whatever it was. So, yeah. Y'all take it too serious. And y'all feelings be all involved. And I'll be thinking, these people hate me because me and Lincoln going back and forth. And Lincoln gonna call me later tonight and we gonna laugh about it. So, yeah. Y'all crazy. Y'all crazy. Y'all be wild with it, though. Emanuel, I seen the way you was looking at his bald head. You wanted to swing real bad. I saw it in your eyes. Oh. Sometimes he do call me and cuss me out. And I just laugh and laugh and laugh. And sometimes, this is true, sometimes he called me and he be so heated, in my mind, I could imagine smoke coming out his ears. And he be cussing me out. And I get to laughing because it be so funny to me. I don't know why it be that funny to me. I just be thinking, boy, you're really emotional today. You must be on your period. And, but he be going, and I just be laughing. And then he just might stop in the middle of his cuss out. And he'll be like, what? What's so funny? And he'll start laughing. And we'll just both laugh. And I'll be like, it's just hilarious to me that you are this mad because I said whatever. And then he'll get to laughing and we'll laugh about it. So yeah, sometimes he do be mad. Like the time when he bust his eye vessel. He did. He burst the eye vessel. Or whatever it's called. And he didn't know why. He couldn't figure out why. And he went to the doctor. And the doctor told him, we were talking. I was giving him some good advice in terms of being a talk show host. Some really good advice. And he was mad because he didn't want to take my good advice. And he starts screaming at me to shut the F up. That was all he said. Shut the F up. But he kept saying it louder and louder and louder and louder till he was saying it with every fiber of his being as loud as he possibly could. He was shaking and everything. And of course, me and I want to say it was Chad and I think Terrence and Brandon. He was so passionate about it that we couldn't stop laughing. And then the next day he came in and one eye, hold on, I'm looking this way. This eye was super duper red. He had burst a blood vessel. But he didn't know why. So he was like, I don't know what happened to my eye. So I guess he went to the doctor later on. And then he came in the next day and he told us, well, the doctor said I burst a blood vessel. And I asked him how I did it. And he asked me all these questions. And he said, were you, I forget the words that he used. But basically the bottom line was he overexerted himself yelling at me. And we all, Lincoln included, just bust out laughing. And I'm like, that's why you need to calm the F down. And then, we just laugh some more. So yeah, y'all take it. Some people, not necessarily y'all, some of y'all, but not necessarily y'all, but some people are like way too emotionally invested. And when it all comes down to it, we ain't really beefing. We ain't really beefing. It's partly all, well, for me, it's all in fun. And for him, it's I irritate him and he picks with me, and then I get the best of him, and that frustrates him. And then he get mad, and then he call me and cuss me out, and then we laugh, and we start the whole process over again. So it's all, y'all need to just let it go. It ain't that serious. I heard him call your show. He full of anger. You can tell he full of anger. And he just full of hatred. And I don't know what's going on. I'll be like, what's wrong with y'all, old man? All right, I got to get out of here. Wyatt, check out Wyatt live. Well, you know, Wyatt doing like 6 shows a day now. I turn on, and like 9 o'clock in the morning, he on. And then I turn on, and it's like at noon, he on. And then I turn on, it's like 1 o'clock, like Wyatt is on again. And then I think he respect me, so he don't necessarily go on at 3. And then I turn back on, and it's 5 o'clock, he back on. Like, damn, Wyatt, you're just doing shows all day. But go check out Wyatt. What happened to the king and I don't know what happened. He got busy. And then we couldn't like make everything line up. And realistically, we just haven't taken the opportunity, had the opportunity to reach out to each other and put it back together. We haven't had the opportunity to reach out to each other and put it back together. I'm going to reach out to him one of these days, not while I'm still coughing, but once I'm finished with all of the coughing, I'm going to reach out to him. We'll get it back going. I'm not going to be on 6 times a day, though. I'm not going to be on 6 times a day. Y'all good if y'all get me 5 days a week. 4, 3. You know, you never know. All right, I got to get out of here. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. Hope something amazing happens to you, something life-changing. All right? Until next time, my name is Emanuel Livingston. My title is The King of Talk. This show has been The Afternoon Experiment. I'm out, y'all. Peace.